please know that we're all in this together, and that I appreciate what everybody is going through. I can certainly relate to it in terms of my own family customs and traditions and what that means for us, but I appreciate how everybody is really stepping up, and thank you for what you're doing to date in relation to sticking to the rules. It's so important for us to stay vigilant. We cannot lift our foot off the pedal. We have to stay vigilant to make sure we clamp down, especially on the community-to-community transmission, and the early signs of the restrictions, which have only been in place now for 9 or 10 days, are showing real benefit, but we won't know the true benefit until a few weeks when all the data is in. So I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but early signs are positive in terms of the impact the restrictions are having. But obviously we'll rely on data in the next couple of weeks to give us a signal of what we should be doing moving forward. I also especially want to thank our early childhood community, and also our school community for the efforts they've put in place over this term. And we know that for our teachers and for those in early childhood, it's been a challenging time, and everybody has stepped up, and I'm so grateful that we've been able to keep schools open and we've been able to keep our childcare centres and also preschools functioning during this time, how important those crucial services are to the community. Today I'm pleased to announce, and the Minister for Education is here with me, Minister Mitchell, I'm pleased to announce the New South Wales Government will be providing free preschool for parents over the next 6 months. That will be at a cost of around $50 million, but we are pleased to do this because we know household budgets are under pressure, families are under pressure. So for the next 6 months, preschool for all ages will be free in New South Wales, but also to match what the federal government's done in relation to childcare centres. Currently, local government wasn't fully covered by the JobKeeper arrangements for childcare centres, so we're stepping up and paying the other half. The federal government's making some contribution, and we're stepping up and paying the other half, which means that childcare centres run by local governments don't have to worry about those additional costs of keeping staff on, but also providing those vital services, and that will cost us around $82 million. But again, it's not the dollars, it's the fact that we're stepping up as a government to do our part in relieving the pressure on household budgets, but also sending a strong message to both our early childhood education community and also our school community to say thank you so much for the effort everybody has put in. And I'm also happy to say that already education experts have started talking to our health experts about what Term 2 will look like. So the school holidays will give an opportunity, although holidays is a stretch this Easter, but certainly the school holiday or the break after Term 1 will give us time to consider our options about what Term 2 for schools will look like. There are some options we're considering, but again it will be based on health advice and also in consultation with all of our stakeholders, including of course principals and teachers and parent groups as well. So we'll provide an update on that situation once we make a decision, and again that will be based on our health advice. But again, can I just say to everybody, firstly, thank you for stepping up and making and meeting all the restrictions we've asked you to do. Early signs are positive that it is having an impact. It's too soon to say whether or not the impact is sufficient for us to consider any form of relaxation. We don't want to think about that until we get the data sets, but we are, as a state, going to look at data once a month closely in terms of what we do in the future with restrictions. So there'll be a rolling monthly consideration, and I'll be saying publicly at the end of every month what we're likely to do the following month. But again, it's too soon for me to be able to say that at this stage. Thank you again. I ask everybody to make the most of the Easter break. For those of you who are religious and would normally attend religious gatherings, we appreciate how challenging this is for you, but I also want to commend many religious organisations who not only have stuck to the rules but have made arrangements so that their worshippers, their congregations can view live what they would ordinarily do sitting inside a place of worship. So I just want to thank all of our religious organisations who have made that accommodation, who have ensured that they can provide live streaming and at least people can participate in a religious ceremony through that mechanism as well. I'll now ask Dr. Chant, I'll ask the Police Commissioner first to give his update, then Dr. Chant to give a health update, and then Minister Mitchell to expand on the policy we have around early childhood education and also our schools policy.
Good morning. Thanks, Premier. Just an update on the Ruby Princess. I can confirm that last night, under the order of the New South Wales State Coroner, New South Wales police officers entered the Ruby Princess to gather evidence in relation to the Ruby Princess investigation. They spoke to the captain of the ship, who was extremely helpful. Ships have a black box very similar to that of international planes, and that and other evidence has been seized for further investigation, and that is just sort of part one of the investigation. I can confirm there's still over 1,000 crew members on the ship. We're working closely with Carnival. Around 3/4 at this stage have said they want to remain on the ship. They feel safe on the ship, and I think that's a good outcome from the fact. Also, local community, can I thank you? Local community have dropped off a number of care packages at the port for the crew members, which I think speaks volumes of the local community in southern area. In terms of this weekend, we've spoken a lot about double demerits, and traffic enforcement will continue. We'll be watching the North Coast very carefully, particularly those border towns. We have pushed additional police resources up there, but in preparation we have been going through the caravan parks and other holiday spots to make sure that we don't have visitors here. Anyone who's been here who shouldn't be has been warned, so from Friday onwards we will be issuing tickets, particularly from those who are not from New South Wales. But at this stage it would seem the message is getting out there, but be clear that we will reach a point where the warnings will be over. We will protect our border towns and we will protect our coastal areas during this busy period. Tickets have been issued again overnight, around 24 for non-isolation issues, and many of those are tagged with other criminal behaviours. But again, there's been plenty of warnings about the long weekend, and we would ask that you listen to the warnings. This is coming from the communities themselves. Up to date, we've had nearly 5,000 Crime Stopper reports in relation to people who are flouting the laws, which from my perspective again means that the community are well behind us on this journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasingly, there were 39 new cases since 8 p.m. yesterday, and that is our lowest count since March 16. Pleasingly also that testing was increased, so we had 3,906 people tested in the 24 hours prior to 8 p.m. on the 8th of April, and that's a 32% increase from the 24 hours previously. We've got 21 deaths in New South Wales, so no increase in deaths in the last 24 hours. And currently we have 221 people being treated by New South Wales Health, and that includes 31 patients in ICU, of which 21 are ventilated. We are having some symptoms emerge in those passengers that have been returning travellers that have been quarantined in our hospitals, and 36 people have tested positive from those returning travellers.